Hi, I'm Queen, and this is my persuasive speech. My dad wanted to be a mechanical engineer, but mechanical engineer at that time in Vietnam didn't make much money, but doctors do. And so my dad's sister beat him up very badly so that he would give up his seat at the national physics contest to attend biology classes. My dad eventually became a doctor. He made really good money, but he soon realized that it wasn't enough. So he had to make multiple investment in real estate, banking, etc., to climb up the ladder of wealth. At the end of the day, he never had a chance to rest, and he never had a chance to do what he wanted to do. This is the story of today's society, the story of creating wealth, giving up something else in the return, and never be happy, reflect the current situation that we're in. But wealth does not create happiness. Freedom and justice do. And first, I will talk about wealth in today's society. Second, I will talk about freedom and justice in today's society. And last, I will talk about how they relate to happiness and why it is important that we know that wealth doesn't give us happiness, freedom and justice do. When I say wealth and rich, I mean you own property, you have a job that pay you the equivalent of the effort you put into your job, and you are debt free. Wealth in today's society is based upon exploitation, and hard work does not create wealth. Exploitation creates wealth, unfortunately. Society tells us in order to be rich, we have to give up something. We have to make investment with the money we don't have. We have to give up our time to our loved ones and to ourselves. We have to take a massive amount of debt to earn a degree for our job that maybe pays us enough to live by. I don't know. If you're going to get rich with that job, who knows? All of these contribute to the wheel of capitalism and the wealth of the 1% who hold the wheel. And then in 40 years, you can retire, hopefully debt-free. You don't get rich by working hard. Ironically, 60% of all wealth in America is inherited. Essential workers, doctors, nurses, service workers, the people that we realized in the midst of this pandemic that they are in fact very essential. They are not the richest people. The rich people are the ones not only work hard skills-wise, but also work hard at exploiting other people. And without a population to exploit, no wealth can be created. Thinking about the immigrants, the workers in developing countries, temporary workers like interns that doesn't get paid, and even nature are the means for exploitation. According to CNN Business, in light of the business, with increased online shopping, Jeff Bezos, which is the owner of Amazon, became $36.2 billion richer prior to the pandemic. And comes with that is the sacrifice of employees' health, workplace protection, and paid time off. Taking the fashion industry, for example, especially fast fashion, which doesn't create high quality clothing, making us have to buy more and more often. They don't only exploit their workers, they also exploit nature. According to the Institute of Sustainable Communication, the fashion industry is the second highest water polluter. With exploitation to create wealth, our rights to freedom and justice are taken away. Society denies us of our freedom and tells us that we must make enough money to deserve those rights. When I say freedom and justice, I mean equal opportunity, treated fairly in workplace, no matter of your position or your gender, your rate, your skin color, and you don't want to be rich. You just want to have time for yourself. You just want to be able to disagree with your job and not fearing that you would lose your livelihood. You want to have a voice and a choice in society. You basically just want to enjoy your life. You don't want to be rich, because being rich meaning you have to exploit other people and other means for exploitation, like nature. But you have to work yourself up the ladder of wealth, because the capitalistic society tells you that in order to be treated fairly, you have to earn enough money. It tells you that you don't deserve your basic human rights unless you prove you are wealthy enough to claim them. You want to be able to take sick leaves without losing your job? Better have a really good job. You want to not be treated poorly by the misogynistic society? Better be a white middle-class man. You want to be respected? Better not be a fast food workers. Maybe not at Starbucks or McDonald's. It's terrible. Now that I have discussed wealth, freedom, and justice, I will talk about how they relate to happiness. Like I said, money doesn't buy happiness. Freedom and justice give you happiness. Rather than happiness, money buys you stability. But economic growth creates inequality, and inequality is the source of misery. According to multiple studies in 2009 and 2011, areas with a big gap between the poor and the rich experience greater crime rates. And another studies in 2016 and 2017 says that countries and states with greater inequality tend to experience more public health issues, social problems, and mental disorders. Freedom and justice is the foundation of happiness. Taking people in countries that have their rights taken away, for example, like North Korea, they do whatever they could, risking their life to flee the country and go to a country that have a better justice system. What they seek is not another country. What they seek is freedom and justice, because that's what makes people happy. Racial injustice, for example. People have been fighting for black rights long before it was a hashtag. And now it's became a hashtag because with the economy growing through a long period of time, racial injustice still exists. And it is very disappointing, but it is what it is, and we must fight back, because we must acknowledge that wealth does not create happiness, freedom and justice do. And this is important because in order to create a society that works for everyone, we must acknowledge that wealth does not create happiness. Freedom and justice do, like I have said multiple times during this speech. Wealth in today's societies are created by exploitation, and today's society is basically broken because it takes away your rights and freedom if you're not rich enough. And this creates inequality and injustice. These two combined kill happiness. You don't want to be rich, you just want to be free, but society tells you that you can only be free if you are rich, and it doesn't have to be that way, because a system that exploits the majority of people working under it has no place in modern society. We don't have to give in to a society that tells us that we have to buy our own liberation. We can make a system that works for everyone if we acknowledge the problem and take action today, right now. Thank you.